Good morning, day 11, Wednesday, May 31st, 2023. We are wrapping up our campsite off of Dicey's Mill Trail, and you can probably hear and see that nice little stream next to the campsite. So there's two trails that go up to Mount Passaconaway from Dicey's Mill. This is the first trail that goes up, which I'm not going to take. We'll go to the next one. And you can see this is a really nice flat spot, but I did not camp here because there is a tent and some poles stashed, and I just assumed that before I got here someone was planning on camping here and just left their tent stuff here and went to watch the sunset on the summit. And I was expecting to have neighbors at some point and hoping they wouldn't be too loud. Well, guess what? They weren't loud because no one ever showed up. So man, I hope it's not another sad case of someone just leaving their trash up here because they don't feel like bringing it out for whatever reason. Pretty sad. But yeah, so that's the state of things. I could have had a bit of a nicer spot, but the spot I had was fine. So we just walked down here a little bit. And with my small tent, I really don't need a lot of room anyway. And this worked just fine for me. So this is where we were set up last night. Had an okay night's sleep. It actually was a little too warm for me, and we're still at a pretty decent elevation, so oh well. So because I didn't sleep like great, I was up early, probably around 4:30, which was good because I actually spent an hour relaxing with the first cup of coffee and really getting into the weeds in the Far Out app. I'm going to be back on the AT in a couple of days, and I really wanted to have different options in my head for water sources and potential camping. And part of the reason that I was more involved in that, I'm usually a wing it kind of person, but looking at the weather, today's Wednesday, initially it looked like Friday afternoon was going to be some big rain. I have an updated weather forecast where now they're forecasting risk of thunderstorms pretty much all day Friday, and then big rain coming as of right now, not until like 6 p.m., which would be perfect if it holds off that long. Big rain coming, close to an inch. But the good news is that even though it'll be cloudy Saturday as of right now, all the rain's going to happen Friday night into early Saturday morning, and then there should be no more rain. So I just got to make sure I'm hunkered down somewhere Friday, like 4 o'clock at the latest, depending on how bad the thunderstorms are, if there are any. And then I think, yeah, and the whole reason that's happening, right, is because it's like warm right now and it's going to cool things off. So Saturday and Sunday right now look like they're going to be a bit cloudy and colder, at least up high. So, and that's fine with me. But that's all kind of coming when I'm going to be A, needing a resupply, and B, doing the first section of the Prezzies, getting up and over the southern Prezzies for Pierce, Monroe. What am I missing? Is it just Pierce? What am I missing? I don't know. Pierce, Monroe, and then the big one, the tippity top of New Hampshire, Mount Washington. And I would like to get there when they're open because, whew, can you imagine after, I'm already thinking about like just their pizza. I mean, let's face it, it's not the best pizza in the world, but it's pizza. It'd be nice to grab a few slices of that. So trying to plan the next few days out somewhat so that I have that kind of opportunity. Oh, also Lake of the Clouds hut. So that's the thing too with the resupply. I could potentially get a resupply at Crawford Notch. But if I don't get a resupply there, I'll be going not only by Lake of the Clouds hut where they'll have, like if I need another Cliff Bar or two, or whatever their baked goods are, because I'm pretty good with dinners. I might need a little more breakfast and or like snacking during the day kind of stuff. I'm kind of going through that, but I'm fine. I'm set with dinner. And on top of that, if I get to Mount Washington when they're open, I can pick up some stuff there to hold me over. And if I can do that, then I go to isolation. I come down. I can get resupplied before I cross over to do the Wildcats. So that would be like the ultimate goal. But it all depends on how far I can get the next few days, right? So it's fun. It's fun to different options, different plans. Have to keep Sarah up to date. Obviously, it'd be better for her to go to Crawford Notch because it's less of a drive. But then I figured, well, since she only has to come up here once, if it has to be a little bit further drive, I'll really appreciate it. And she won't mind. So that's where we're at this morning. I'm going to finish this coffee, brush my teeth, wash my hands, and get moving. And then get up. Maybe our only summit today, maybe not. Get up Passaconaway. See you then. All right, it's about 6 a.m. Here we go, climbing up Passaconaway. See you on the top. Day 11. Welcome to the top of Mount Passaconaway. Another hazy morning. It's still early, like 6:30. Similar to the views from Whiteface, there's a lot of bodies of water out there. So it's already kind of buggy up here on the top, so I'm not going to stay here too long. I'm going to start making our way back down. So we'll check in at some point later. 26. Woo! All right, just like that, we're back at the trail junction. It is, even though it's early, it's not even 7 yet, it is still like sticky, humid, hot. I mean, this thing's coming off right now. So as we get lower, I'm sure it's going to get hotter. So just going to keep drinking lots of water, and there'll be plenty of opportunity to refill the bladder. I got a full bladder right now, but I am not going to ration myself because there's plenty of water for the rest of the day. That's where we're at. We'll check in later. Day 11, Wednesday, May 31st. We've made it to the cutoff, the Passaconaway cutoff, heading towards the Oliverian Brook Trail. It is just sticky, hot, muggy kind of weather. I just checked my thermometer. It's already at 64 degrees and it's not even quite 7:30 yet. And we're going to lose elevation. And it's been very buggy. I'm going to have to give up. Usually when I'm hiking, I don't have to put it on, but I'm going to eat something first and I'm going to put on some DEET. They're just too annoying right now. And it's probably going to be reapplication because that Sawyer Pond Trail is going to be more of the same, I'm sure. So I guess the word of the day is going to be bugs or DEET, one or the other, and lots of H2O. But yeah, good trek down here. It's so much easier when you're not dealing with snow all the time. So we're gonna take a short break here and then keep on heading down. It'll be our last road walk of the Kank and crossing of the Kank. We'll have other road walks, but we'll have to say goodbye to the Kankamangas Highway for a bit. All right, it's around 8:30 in the morning and we've made it to the Oliverian Brook Trail. Awesome. We're gonna take a little break here, probably air out the feet, and then keep on headed towards the Kank. Woo! All right, we're getting close to the Kank and the bugs are out in full force here. We're back on the Kank. It's a scorcher. See you at the Sawyer River trailhead. All right, that short road walk is done. Back to the trail. Okay, day 11 update. We just crossed the river, such as it is here at the Sawyer Pond Trail. And we're going to be getting back on trail shortly. We had a nice little shady spot, dry out the feet. The mosquitoes were pretty much held at bay. The only place I didn't really put DEET was on my face, and they're picking some choice spots. But other than that, the DEET is doing its job, so hooray. I'm gonna have to reapply soon. Yeah, nice quiet day here. There was one car in the parking lot here and that's it. And we're gonna keep on heading towards the pond and then hopefully past the pond. It's about 10 o'clock. Check in later. Day 11 update. We're making our way on the Sawyer Pond Trail. The mosquitoes have been awful. I actually had to put some DEET on my face. And of course, the one place I really can't put DEET on, like above my eyes and my lips, I've already gotten bit. So I can feel my upper lip swelling from a mosquito bite or two. Other than that, we press on. Whew. Day 11, we made it to Sawyer Pond. But we're not staying here this time. We're gonna keep marching on. It's about 12:30 and I'm gonna put in a couple more miles before we call quits for the day. But yeah, pretty nice here. I don't think there's anyone here right now. All right, we made it to the trailhead. Now we got a little bit of a road walk before we veer off into an old Forest Service road, I guess. So let's keep going. Day 11 update. All right, we just got on this Forest Service road. Looks like it's Forest Service Road 85. And we've got a bit of a water crossing that's not really rock hoppable. So put my Crocs on. We'll go the other side. And I sort of remember when I did this last year, I had wished I had left long pants on just because of all the scrapes from all the vegetation. So once we get on the other side, just for this little section, I'm gonna zip on my pants just to cut back on the scraping of the knees. But it'll be nice to get in that water. I think I'll even wash off a little bit, soak my shirt. Whew, take a little break. We'll check in later. Well, in case you were wondering, this is what an overgrown, no longer used Forest Service road looks like in the spring. There's still, for the most part, a discernible trail, but there was a lot of overgrowth from left, right, up and down. So this is going to be slow going. We've got about a mile of this, a little more than a mile. And I'll be happy if we get this done, you know, in an hour to 90 minutes. But we're following the brook to our left, but we want to take the path of least resistance as much as possible, which is going to be, for the most part, this road. So if you're ever thinking about doing a Direttissima, just remember this is going to be part of it unless you come up with a better way to connect Passaconaway to Carrigan. Check in later. All right, we have made it through most of that bushwhack. We have about 200 feet till we connect with Signal Ridge Trail. At first it was fun, then it was not. It's really overgrown in a lot of it, and some really big like evergreens that are hard to push through. And sadly, I have a casualty. My Gooder sunglasses, I had them up top here, and at some point I got off the trail for not even like 2-3 minutes, and I remember as I realized I was off trail, I needed to get back on, I checked and I still had my sunglasses up top. And stupid me, instead of realizing, oh, you know, this bushwhack is really whipping around, maybe you should put your glasses away. I didn't have that thought until about 5 minutes later, once I was back on track and just getting whacked with trees. And I went to look for my sunglasses to put them away, and they were gone. So I even dropped the pack and like backtracked all the way to the point where I had gotten lost. But you know, if a branch grabs it and just whips it, it could have flung them who knows how far. So I went all the way back and then, you know, looking the whole way and then back again to where I turned around, and I just couldn't find them. So bummer. Not that I was using them a whole lot anyway, but they're nice to have. Luckily, they're only like 25 bucks. So I'll ask Sarah to bring me out another pair. So yeah, there's a free pair of Gooders in there if you can find them. Good luck. I really didn't have any serious intentions starting out today to hit Carrigan, and then I thought about, well, maybe I'll camp on the summit, dry camp, and just bring water up. The way I'm feeling now after that bushwhack is find a spot here, a nice spot, set up camp, relax, get away from these flies, just rehydrate, and be ready to go tomorrow. Because once we get down Carrigan, it's going to be another, not as bad as this one, but close to it with Shoal Pond. That's always an overgrown mess as well. So we've got that to look forward to tomorrow. But yeah, a nice early summit of Carrigan is sounding pretty good right now. So I think that's what we're going to do. I think we're getting close to 3 o'clock. So it'll take probably another 15 minutes, a half hour to find a decent campsite. And we'll go from there. Check in later. All right, day 11 update. We are camped off trail. There's a section of Signal Ridge Trail, I think it still is, that was rerouted years ago, and so we're camped off of that no longer used trail. And because of the running water nearby, the bugs aren't bad right now, which is so nice. Pretty beat going to between the heat, the bugs that were really bad for like the first 3 miles of Sawyer Pond Trail from the Kank. Man, I felt like I had 40, 50 bugs just flying around my head the whole time. And then, I guess for lack of a better word, the bushwhack at the end of the day, that took a lot out of me. I never really thought of that section as a bushwhack after doing it last year, but it definitely felt a lot more grown in this time. Definitely had to push through a lot of stuff. So I'm glad I put the long pants on. That helped. But still, I'm glad I got it done today also instead of starting it first thing in the morning. So tomorrow's going to be good. We'll get a nice early start. to summit Carrigan, and that should set us up for hopefully going through Shoal Pond Trail before it's too hot, and then we'll see, but maybe set up camp, past that quarter-mile boundary with Zealand Falls Hut, and then go for Hale tomorrow as well. That's like a 5.5 out and back. But if I have like a base camp set up and I'm just taking water with me, that should be pretty good. So that's the tentative plan for tomorrow, but I still got to get some water chores done here. I'm gonna have some tailwind, the first tailwind of the trip. Maybe I can even drink it outside if the mosquitoes don't get too bad. So we'll check in later for a recap, but pretty beat right now. So I'm still getting situated, but I was looking at the map because that last part of the hike, the bushwhack on that old Forest Service road, I was looking to see if there was a way around it, and there is a way around it. So instead of when you get to the Sawyer Pond trailhead on Sawyer River Road, you could just road walk Sawyer River Road. It looks like it's about 2.5 miles, and then just hop on the Signal Ridge Trail, and that would be 2 miles on that trail before you linked up with where the bushwhack would take you. So you probably lose a little elevation. It would probably take longer, but it would be a lot, in my opinion, a lot more enjoyable with that brush being as thick as it was in some of it and just getting pushed around. That's definitely an option. So you don't have to do that bushwhack if you don't want to. And if I do another Direttissima, I might not do that bushwhack. We'll see. All right, day 11 wrap up. Wednesday, May 31st, 2023. That's it for May. Had a really good day today. Only got one peak, but that brings us up to 26 for day 11. So I'm still happy about that. Did not see any other hikers today, which is a little surprising, but maybe not so much. It's because a lot of the hiking I did today was on Sawyer Pond Trail from the Kank. I don't think that gets a lot of use this time of year. So yeah, but didn't see anyone. I've heard a few folks coming down from Carrigan. I've just heard the voices, but I haven't seen anyone. So don't have self-service. Obviously, we're pretty down low here, but I'll have some tomorrow on the summit. And I just in-reached Sarah, just talking about different resupply options, keeping in mind that looks like really heavy rain is going to be coming Friday night and now into Saturday morning. So that's going to impact me, and it's going to cool things down afterwards. So right when I want to be on the southern Prezzies, pretty much, rain and cold, rats. But we'll figure something out. I feel like there probably is going to be a day or two where I could do a lot more miles, and I'm just going to have to hold back on it. So we'll see. We'll play it by ear. First we do tomorrow. So up and over Carrigan, and then head towards the Zealand Falls Hut. And then depending on the time of day and how I feel, it'd be great to get Hale done tomorrow. But that's like a 5.5 mile out and back. So we'll see. We're going to have to play that by ear. Yeah. The sun is starting to get real low here. I am going to take a chance and not put the rain fly on. I usually don't get burnt by showers when that happens, but it's a possibility. So
just because it feels like it's going to be another warm night. I just want to have all the ventilation I can and have the brook, the sound of the brook and a little breeze come off every once in a while will help cool things down. So that's the story. We'll see you tomorrow for the 1st of June, day 12.